Hi, everyone. Good evening. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
All right. Awesome. Great.
Yes.
Oh, hey, Isabel, you're here. Hi, how are you? Good to see you.
Hi, girls. I'm good.
Okay.
Busy lang this last few days.
I see. Glad you're here. Glad you're here. And we have Jemmy. Hi, Jemmy. How are you? We have Jemmy. We have Thelma. We have Ima, 28. And we're just going to wait for a few more people to join, okay? Just 1 minute. Okay, and Ima 28, is this your first time joining to the calls?
No, actually, this is my second time. It's Ima 128.
Oh, I see. Great. Awesome. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so let's just wait for 1 more minute. Okay. All right, I think we can start now. So, good evening, guys. Good evening, everyone. This is member supported Pure Land Buddhist group of the Philippines. My name is Kevin, and I have here one of my friends, Len, on the conference as well. I'm not sure if she's connected though. Can you hear us, Len? Maybe not. Okay. So, yeah, tonight we will read the story The Poppy Seed and a Mother's Search. So this is we do this every Wednesdays, and this is not the only session we have. We have lots of sessions, and we regularly announce them on our Facebook group and on our Skype group as well. So um, I'd like to have at least two volunteers to read our story tonight. Let me just pull this up. Who would like to read this first page? Any takers? Can you see it, guys? Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Would you mind reading, Ima, if you like?
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, okay. The poppy seed and a mother's search. During Sakyamuni's time on earth, there was a beautiful woman who married and gave birth to a perfect baby boy. She was a devoted mother, but one day her child sickened and died. In a paroxysm of grief, she clasped the tiny body to her breast and went around the village where she lived, asking if anyone could bring her son back to life. All who saw her were moved to tears. Finally, not knowing what else to do, they directed her to the place where Sakyamuni lived. Straight away she went to see him and begged him in tears to restore her child to life. The Buddha responded gently, I understand how you feel. If you want your beloved child
Thank you, Ima.
to, alright.
Okay, does anyone want to continue reading the second page?
Hi.
Oh, hi, Gwen. Yes, go ahead. Was it Gwen?
Yeah, it's me.
All right, go ahead, Gwen.
Okay. Return to life, you must do as I say. Go to town and bring me a poppy seed from a house where no one has yet died. As soon as you do that, I will bring him to life. Overjoyed, the woman hurried to town. But wherever she went, she was turned away. My father died last year, said one person. I lost my husband this year, said another. My child died just the other day, said someone else. Every house had poppy seeds, but no house was free of death. Still, the grieving mother wouldn't give up, but kept running around, frantically in search of a house where no one had ever died. Finally, it grew dark. Exhausted, she dragged herself back to Sakyamuni. "Couldn't you get a poppy seed?" he asked. "No, for death had come to every house I visited. I finally understood that my child too is dead. That's right, everyone dies. That fact is clear, yet people can see it."
Thank you, Gwen. And would you mind reading the last page? It's just short, this one.
Okay. "Yes," said the woman, "I was blind. If you hadn't made me go through this, I would never have understood. Please tell me how someone as foolish as I am can be saved." She listened intently to the Buddha's words from then on.
All right, thank you so much, Gwen and Ima, for reading. So tonight, this is our story. It's the poppy seed and a mother's search. Okay, I'm just gonna go give a quick summary of the story. This is one of the stories in the book where Sakyamuni Buddha was mentioned, and it's a very meaningful story. It's we can all relate to it, and so let me just show you guys here. And if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to post it on our Skype group so we can continue the discussion later on. Okay, so there was a young woman, very beautiful, right? She was a mother and she gave birth to a perfect baby boy. Okay. Now, who wouldn't be happy, right? If we have parents here and if we have kids, wouldn't we want our kids to be healthy and really vibrant? We all want that, right? So she has a baby boy, a perfect baby boy, as described. However, one day her child sickened and died. It was so devastating. Now, in the paroxysm of grief, she clasped the tiny body of the baby to her breast and went around the village. She went around the village. She was looking for answers because, she was terrified. She was asking if anyone could bring her son back to life. Okay. All who saw her were moved to tears. They were crying. And finally, not knowing what else to do, they told the mother, go to Sakyamuni Buddha, and he will give you the answers. All right. So after that, straight away, she went to Sakyamuni Buddha and begged him in tears to restore her child to life. Okay. The Buddha responded gently, I understand how you feel. If you want your beloved child to return to life, you must do as I say. Go to town and bring me a poppy seed from a house where no one has yet died. As soon as you do that, I will bring him to life. So, to be honest, I'm not familiar with what a poppy seed is. I did a Google search earlier. I think in ancient times, this is pretty much common in the kitchens in India. It looks like chia seeds or something, right? But this is what so Sakyamuni Buddha said, go to town and bring me a poppy seed from a house where no one has yet died. And when you do that, I will bring your son back to life. So that's what Sakyamuni Buddha said. Okay. So now overjoyed, the woman was so happy, because finally she got the answer. She only needed to go to a place where there's a poppy seed and that the household has, no one has died yet. So that's what she went on to. So overjoyed, the woman hurried to town, but wherever she went, she was turned away. Here's what people say. My father died last year, said one person. I lost my husband this year, said another. And then my child died just the other day, said someone else. Every house had poppy seeds, sure. They all have poppy seeds. However, no house was free of death. Still, the grieving mother wouldn't give up. That's what mothers do. That's what parents do. They want all the best for the kids, and especially this, she wanted the son to be alive again, so she didn't give up, right? She kept on running, around frantically in search of a house where no one had ever died. And then finally, it grew dark. Exhausted, she returned back to Sakyamuni. Then Sakyamuni Buddha asked her, couldn't you get a poppy seed? Oops. No, for death had come to every house I visited. I finally understood that my child too is dead. That's right, everyone dies. That fact is clear, yet people can't see it. And the mother said, yes, said the woman, I was blind. If you had not made me go through this, I would never have understood. Please tell me how someone as foolish as I am can be saved. And then from then on, the woman continued to listen intently and seriously to the Buddha's words. So that's the story. I'm pretty sure that most of you guys are familiar with it. It's pretty famous story, and it's on YouTube as well. There are some videos that are published in there, some online stories, and but this is really, it's always timely because it's always about impermanence. So before we continue, do you guys have any comments or feedback on the mother in the story? How would you describe her, and what do you think made her really, you know, um, desperate for her son to be alive? How would you describe the mother's emotions here? Okay, feel free to post on Skype if you can't talk, or you can unmute your microphone if you want to speak. That's okay as well. Okay, Gwen is typing. Right, Gwen says she was still in denial and not able to accept the fate of her son. Yes, exactly. So she was in denial, and obviously she is in a state of grieving, right? She cannot accept, she kept on denying that her son is already dead. So, and we all are like that. When we face impermanence, we have this, we undergo a stage of grieving. It's normal. Now, I forgot in psychology, there's this time frame for grieving. I think it was 6 months, but grieving really is um, dependent. It varies from person to person. So we cannot say that, oh, the book says that grieving is just 6 months to a year, so you should be moving on already at this point. No, right? Because we are all on our own pace when it comes to grieving. So the mother here was grieving. That's why she wanted her son badly, to be back. Okay, so did any one of you guys join the talk about the basics of Buddhism I think that was last week, last Sunday. Does anyone remember what Prince Siddhartha discovered on the West Gate? Because there were four gates, right? West, North, South, and the East Gate. Do you remember what was on the West Gate that he saw or realized? Oh, okay. So Ima says no mother would want any of her child to die before her. Yes, that's right, Ima. Absolutely. Okay. So on the West Gate, you know, on the West Gate, let me just bring up my other slide. Okay. So this was what Prince Siddhartha saw on the West Gate. Oops. Okay. So on the West Gate, Prince Siddhartha saw a funeral. Okay, there were many people gathering around a coffin and crying. There was a profound sadness in the air, and during this time, the prince learned of the inescapable end to human life, which is death. As people are born, they become old and sick and inevitably die. Siddhartha grew pensive and pondered, is there anything more to life besides birth, old age, sickness, and death? What should be done on this journey of human life? We must have a purpose, or else life would only mean suffering. Though I am young and healthy, I am no different than others. I will become sick, old, and die someday. Why must I go through these painful events? Unable to identify the true meaning of life, Siddhartha became dispirited. Okay, so I'm just showing you guys a few slides from the basics of Buddhism because it's related to the topic. So there is no guarantee that old people will die first. We always like to think that, oh, I'm still young, you know. Um, a lot of us here, I think most of us, all of us here in the Zoom session right now are in their 20s or 30s. So we think that we still have more time. We think we have 50 more years or 60 or even more, right? However, there's no guarantee that old people will always die first. There were babies who unfortunately died because of COVID-19 this year, and that's so terrible. And so, whatever we work to build up in life, at the point of death, it is reduced to nothing. The end comes without warning out of the blue. However much money or possessions, status, or fame a person may have, at the moment of death, their luster fades. They offer us no solace. Okay, so let's go back here. Okay, so you have any questions or comments so far? Anything you want to say? If you have any, please post it on Skype. If none, then we can continue. So sensitivities to death, this varies from person to person. Any concept or impression of death we might have is merely an emotional reaction or a creative speculation. So no matter how a person is sensitive to death, it is nothing like facing death when it actually arrives. So whatever, if you think you are sensitive to death right now, it's nothing, when you actually face death. Okay. So in Pure Land Buddhism, there is the metaphor of four horses in order to describe the differences. In order to differentiate the sensitivity we each have. And this analogy uses a horse's attitude towards the whip, which represents the animal's greatest fear. So this is the metaphor of the four horses. Um, Len, are you back online? Would you mind helping me reading this?
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it's clear. Awesome. Thank
Okay,
you.
sorry, the connection is bad. Yeah, okay, the metaphor of the four horses. A horse that sees the whip shadow people surprised by the idea of their own death when they see falling blossoms or smoke from a crematorium. Second one is a horse that feels the whip brush over its mane. These are people stunned by the idea they too will die one day when they see a funeral or hearse. Third, a horse cut to the flesh by the whip. So people who are shocked to think that this next when they attend the pierced to the bone by the whip. These are people who are moved by their own impermanence when they lose their family.
Thank you so much, Len. So,
Mhm.
guys, looking at these, the four metaphors of the four horses, which category or number would you associate your sensitivity to? Is it number one, two, three, or four? And you can just type on Skype later on, and I'm gonna send you a screenshot of this slide later if you like. However, I've already said this in the I guess previous talks, but lately I've been sensitive to impermanence because of social media. You know, like of course, right now it's COVID-19 and we don't get to go outside that much anymore and see funerals. But in social media, especially on Facebook, we see those candle profile pictures and the black background pictures, and that's when you realize, oh, um, the person is experiencing um, grieving, and you feel sad for them, you feel compassionate for them, and at the same time, I kind of felt that about my impermanence, and I'm not sure if you guys are seeing these photos a lot online as well. Actually, the topic is about impermanence, and it's actually really shocking to see impermanence, right? Or even to hear about it, like what we're doing right now. However, there is hearing about impermanence is actually a an opportunity for us to focus on what's important in life, right? So it is shocking initially. It is terrifying at first. It's normal. However, it is a gift, it is a chance, it is the starting point actually in the journey in Buddhism. So we can be truly happy. It is it's when we become sensitive to impermanence, then that's the starting point of our journey in studying Buddhism. So let's see Skype. Sandy says number two, okay. And then Isabel says number four, right? Okay, thank you for sharing, guys. So, why do you live, right? Buddhism teaches how to obtain absolute happiness, which is true peace of mind that is full of satisfaction and does not fade even in the face of old age, illness, and death. The purpose of life is why we live, which is one and the same for everybody. So let's just see who's around here. Sorry, my Zoom is kind of stuck. So we have Len, we have Gwen, we have Hans. Hi, Hans. Ima, Isabel, Jamie, Jemu, Kenneth, Marvin, Sandra, Shen, Tala, and Telma. Each one of us here, we all share the same ultimate goal of life, the same universal purpose of life. It is to experience the real joy of being human. This joy can only be achieved when we accomplish the purpose of being born a human, the realization of absolute peace of mind and satisfaction. If you listen to these teachings, you will be able to know more what this true happiness that Buddhism is teaching about and how to attain it. So this is why this brings me next to an opportunity. I'd like to invite you guys, everyone, to our online event next month. It's called Honko. We would usually go to Japan for this event However, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's all done online now through Zoom, and everyone is welcome to join. So we invite you to join. And Len, would you mind reading the ad or poster for this event?
Oh, for this one?
Ah,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. So the Huang Call, which will be held on October 17th and 18th, is a congregation to repay our debt of gratitude to Master Shinran. Oh, this one you're talking about this.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's yeah. That's
Uh,
okay. You can yeah. I can summarize as well. Shall I?
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's okay. Why are we born? What is the purpose of living? Why do we have to live on despite sufferings in life? The answers to these questions has been taught by Shakyamuni Buddha 2,600 years ago. Master Shinran, who was lecturing in Japan 800 years ago, then further clarified Shakyamuni Buddha's sole intention of teaching Buddhism. So let's learn the essence of Buddhism from Japan's greatest Buddhism teacher. Lectures can be participated online with various language translations like English, Mandarin, and others. So interested participants can register via the code below. So yeah,
Mm.
this would be a Saturday and Sunday event, 2-day event. Yeah.
Thank you, Len. Right. So we invite everyone to join. You're all welcome to join. And if you have friends who is really looking for answers and what their purpose in life is, if you see them really struggling to find and look for answers, then do them a favor, help them ease their suffering, and let them join this session. Okay, so I'm gonna send um my phone number later on Skype, and as well as my Facebook. If we're already friends on Facebook, feel free to message me and I can get you more details, or you can also message Len. But I'm gonna send you guys my phone number as well and my email address, whichever platform you're most comfortable with in reaching out. So this will be on October 17 and 18, like Glenn said, and it's all going to be in Zoom. So it's all purely online. Okay. So we hope you can join. And if you have friends, please let them join as well. And we also, uh, one of our Buddhist teachers, Frank, is offering one-on-one sessions. So if you have questions like like what Sandy said here, I wish to obtain true happiness. If you also would like to obtain true happiness and you want to know more about the true purpose of life, definitely you can book a one-on-one session with a Buddhist teacher, and you can also message me or Len if you want to book a session. So, and then I'd like to encourage everyone to continue listening to Buddhism because um, even for just a few weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks, or just a month, you will see a huge difference in your outlook in life. You'll feel happier, you'll feel more motivated, and the more you listen to it, because these teachings, the Dharma, you know, these are from Sakyamuni Buddha himself. These were preserved carefully as the Dharma. And when Sakyamuni Buddha was giving the lectures back then, he carefully chose the words he uttered, and these words are energy. That's the reason why when we listen to Buddhism, we feel happy because we listen to Sakyamuni Buddha's words and their energy that drives us to be happier and motivated. Even if we are struggling in life, we still there's this energy we can't explain. So I invite you guys to to do your best in listening to the Buddhist lectures like this, and you'll be surprised. You'll see yourself happier and more productive. And that's all for tonight. Let me know if you guys have any questions on Skype, or you can unmute your microphone now if you have any comments or feedback. Len, do you want to say something? What's final words?
Just to add to what Kevin
And
said, um, yeah, yeah, can you hear me? Is it
yes,
okay? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. As to add with what Kevin said, please tell us ahead of time if you want to join the online event on October. It would be nice. Some of you here already joined that one, like Jemu. He joined that, and Marvin, and a couple more. I forgot, but yeah, they were able to experience that. So if you're curious, they could tell you how it goes. And there might be a film showing again about Buddhism. So that's a nice addition to the conference, and you will be surprised how many people around the world are listening to Buddhism, and you get to meet them there too. Different nationalities from the USA, Japan, Hong Kong, Brazil. So yeah, it's a good opportunity to meet people too.
right. And we will also do chanting, but you'll be provided with an online supplement on the chanting so you can follow along as well and sing with us. So that would be really amazing. So we hope you could join. And that's all for tonight. We're so happy you're here. Again, this is member supported Pure Land Buddhism Center of the Philippines. And good night, everyone. Awesome. Good night, Gwen, Hans, Ima, Isabel,
Thanks,
Jamie.
Gibbs.
Welcome.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Paul.
Good
Welcome,
night.
Paolo, Tala, Telma, Kenneth. Oh, hi, Kenneth. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, I want to join the conference.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, feel free to message me. I'll send my contact details later.
Yes, please.
Yes, awesome. Good night, guys.
Thanks.